The Master's Mysteries, Tales of Magical Mastery, Episode 123, Final Episode. After the nine-headed serpent destroyed the other 8 heads, only the remaining one viciously lunged again at the desolate North Demon Dragon. The desolate North Demon Dragon also realized that the nine-headed serpent's attack this time was a desperate gamble, and its momentum was fierce. It seemed difficult to withstand the attack. Demon Dragon, prepare to die. Indeed, the demonic dragon formed by his billions of small insects couldn't withstand the fierce blow from the nine-headed serpent. In an instant, the demonic dragon's form dispersed like mist. Most of the scattered demonic insects were likely swallowed by the main head of the nine-headed serpent. He ate that big bug. He's committing suicide. He doesn't have the ability to devour that demonic dragon. This is bad, because the main body of the demonic insects is lost. The remaining insects can no longer condense into a giant dragon. However, Liao Fengyi and the Black Fox realized that things were not so simple. Indeed, after swallowing the demonic insects, the nine-headed serpent's main body remained motionless in midair for a long time. Its body alternated between red and blue, clearly struggling against the demonic insects inside. Kid, you're so arrogant. Want to devour me? Do you have the ability? Moreover, inside the body of the nine-headed serpent, the ancestral insect of the desolate North Demon Dragon is going berserk. With your limited skills, are you qualified? Indeed, this demonic insect cultivated into a dragon from a tiny grain-sized bug, but it had cultivated for thousands of years. It was not something the nine-headed serpent could easily restrain. Old bug, do you know where this is? This is the divine elemental world. I cultivated specifically to destroy you. However, how could the nine-headed serpent not know this? For revenge, he had prepared for thousands of years, and the space trapping the demonic dragon was precisely created through his divine elemental cultivation. Divine elemental. In this way, you will also die. Divine elemental is the most core element of life. The divine elemental world cultivated for thousands of years can trap everything in the world. The demonic insect will be forever trapped here. From the moment of preparing for revenge, I never intended to live. This means that from the beginning, when the nine-headed serpent left the ruins of the divine race and embarked on the path of revenge, he was prepared for a life-and-death situation. No wonder he always maintained a gloomy character. Bastard, how could the desolate North Demon Dragon be willing? At this moment, he was furious. His only hope was to quickly kill the nine-headed serpent, and it had to be done in this divine elemental world so that he could escape. Then I'll kill you first. But this divine elemental world was cultivated by the nine-headed serpent, so he could come and go freely. The desolate North Demon Dragon finally understood that he didn't even have a chance to kill the nine-headed serpent here. He was suddenly alarmed. If the nine-headed serpent committed suicide in his divine elemental world, then he would also disappear along with this divine elemental world, forever. His analysis was correct. Everything had already begun. His face became extremely terrified. A loud explosion resounded, destroying everything. The main body of the nine-headed serpent self-destructed and perished, and along with it disappeared his divine elemental world and the desolate North Demon Dragon inside it. Bastard, did you come here just to commit suicide? Thank you. Of course, with the death of the main body, his celestial body was about to dissipate as well. My vengeance is finally avenged. I can be considered worthy of my ancestors. The nine-headed serpent was born with 9 heads, arguably the most talented in the desolate North Divine Clan. If all the clan members were present, he would undoubtedly be the leader of the clan. If there is a next life, let's continue as brothers. But he lived his entire life in loneliness. At this moment, with his great vengeance avenged, he had no regrets. Nine-headed serpent, you bastard, however, In the eyes of others, the nine-headed serpent's personality was too stubborn. Couldn't he discuss matters with everyone instead of resorting to such extreme methods? Bastard! Although the black fox was cursing loudly, he quickly ran over, wanting to collect the nine-headed serpent's remains, hoping to preserve his divine elemental and leave him a glimmer of hope. Look, but at this moment, the 8 severed heads of the nine-headed serpent lying on the ground suddenly flew into the air. They were drawn by a force into midair, and a spatial crack appeared in the sky. A figure appeared in the midst of the spatial crack. After the 8 heads were sucked into the crack, a strange red light flashed in the eyes of the figure in the crack. Before a few people could react, the spatial crack quickly disappeared. "Who are you?" The black fox's inquiry received no answer. The vanished crack left no trace whatsoever. A gust of mountain wind blew by, and the desolate North Three Pinnacles, which had just been like a purgatory on earth, now fell into a deathly silence. If it weren't for the scattered rubble and uprooted trees, no one would imagine that a earth-shattering battle had taken place here over the past dozen days. At this moment, everything returned to calm. Liao Fengyi chose a sunlit hillside covered with wildflowers to bury Xiaodi. A relationship came and ended in such a cruel way. Although brief, this emotion was firmly engraved in Liao Fengyi's heart. Liao Fengyi, along with the black fox, the 3-headed mastiff, and Ahuo, returned to Changbai Mountain. The two wanted to carefully study the contract and cultivation experience left by Jiang Rong and the white fox in the ancient cave. The broken old Taoist returned to Iron Bull Monastery once again, leading a carefree life. Occasionally, Liao Fengyi would visit him. Despite growing older, he still hadn't taken a proper form, but Liao Fengyi understood that the old Taoist was the one living the most enlightened life. To achieve immortality, one must attain the Tao, and he was undoubtedly such a person. When he ventured out again, Liao Fengyi established the Immortal Family Mountain faction, becoming a mysterious and formidable sect in the martial world. No swords allowed. Furthermore, Lai Bui brought the exceptionally talented Luoxing back to Maoshan, initiating rigorous training reminiscent of hell. Why didn't you say earlier? 5 years later, after Lai Bui transcended, Luoxing came to Changbai Mountain and continued to study under Liao Fengyi. Of course, Luoxing also became the most outstanding successor in the history of the Immortal Family Mountain. The reputation of the Immortal Family Mountain began from this point. In an ordinary little mountain village in northern Liaoning, San She was sweating profusely in the blacksmith's shop. "Elder brothers, my hoe is broken." Perhaps because the illusions of wealth and prosperity shattered one after another, these 3 fellows saw through life. In the end, they chose to return to the mountains and live as ordinary people. "Everyone says your craftsmanship is excellent. Could you help out this unfortunate widow?" A trivial matter. We brothers love to help others, respect the elderly, and care for the young. Although life is peaceful, the tendency of these 3 brothers to get carried away with praise remains unchanged. "Thank you so much. I knew you were the most enthusiastic people. Leave it to us tonight. We'll escort you home. Is there anything else to do at home? We're willing to help." "Brat, are you up to some mischief again? If it weren't for my dad's money, you would have starved to death long ago. Our sisters are as beautiful as flowers, and you dare to have wandering eyes." "Madam, spare us. We won't dare again, madam. Don't be angry. Tonight, I'll give madam a back massage. How can that ugly monster compare to madam's beauty?" The legend of the Master's mysteries comes to a close here. With sorrow or joy, everyone has found their place. But the story of the Master's mysteries will continue. Liao Fengyi generation will have many outstanding and thrilling adventure stories.